Welcome back to another 2 Minute Tuesday, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we are going to talk about putting bread in a pipe before you solder it. Does it work? There is a couple of things I need to say before we actually go on and do the demonstration. This should only be done as a last resort, meaning if you've got a crack or a chip or a pinhole in the pipework and you can't actually get to it to chop the bit out and put a service valve in place of it, or resolder, or a socket, compression socket, whatever. This is a last resort. What else I will say is only use the white part of the bread, don't use the crust. This is a very old trick my mentor taught to me and his mentor taught to him, and it goes back many years. Make sure that once you've soldered the fitting, you then go to the nearest compression or socket or accessible point, disconnect the pipework and flush it out. I've seen many people say, oh, let it go to the tap, let it go here, it will dissolve. You're just causing more problems for yourself. If you can disconnect it on a compression socket further down the line, or an elbow going to a tap or whatever, or a nut going to a tap, then do it and just flush it out. You're going to save yourself a lot more trouble in the long run cleaning that tap filter, I'll tell you that now. So let's go on, let's take a look at what we've got here and we'll go on to demonstration. So this is all I've done, connected the hose pipe to a service valve, got the water coming out here, and connected the tap on the wall just for reference really. If you've got this sort of leak, this isn't going to work. We need to slow it down to a drip. If you've got this, then you're going to need to find some way of shutting off the water. I would recommend getting all your stuff ready, your lamp, your flux, your solder, everything else, your fittings. And also I would recommend using a Yorkshire fitting or a capillary fitting just because it makes life easier. But if you haven't got one, then you're just going to have to go ahead and use end feed. You're going to have to do this very quickly, guys, because the bread's not going to hold for very long. As we all know, if you try and solder that while it's dripping, all you're going to get is steam, like this. So that's not going to work. So we've got our dripping pipe there, we've got our bread here, we're going to scrunch it up. Remember, you're not using too much, just enough to stop the leak. You're also going to need something to push it down with. I recommend a large screwdriver. Drill bit or anything like that will do just nicely. Then we're going to pop it in the pipe like so. And then we're going to push it down there, way down there. But then once we're happy, we're then going to chop the pipework where we need to. Just like that. That's in there. We're going to clean it up. Like so. Very quickly with your wire wool. Make sure you get your flux in there. Now I know I meant to be using a flux brush, I know. I've just left it on site, so I can only use my solder, I'm afraid. Either that or I've lost it. We've got to be doing this very quickly. You pop it in, wipe your flux off, your excess flux. That's very messy, but we've got to be very quick. So being neat and tidy is kind of on the back burner right now. Quite a warm flame going on. Not the neatest we've done, but we've soldered a leaking pipe. And once you're happy and it's nice and cool, give it a rub down. Just like my boxers. And then remember what I said about flushing it out. Well, we're going to assume that the compression fitting's here to the tap. So we've taken that off. I'm just going to divert it down into the bucket and flush it through. And that's all the bread came out. Lovely. All the bread's just gone straight down there. Beautiful. So then after we're happy it's all been flushed out, as you can see we're running nicely there. So now we're going to hook the tap up. Not that we need to. Once happy with that, we're then going to turn the valve back on. Pressure's there and out the tap. Make sure it's over the bucket as such. There we go. Flowing nicely with a sealed fitting. Turn that off. Perfect. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope this has helped or given you some information or some secondary knowledge, whatever. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, guys.